Have you ever read something and just thought, wow, how did they do that? That was so persuasive. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how it works. We're going to deconstruct a masterfully written argument to find a simple, repeatable blueprint that you can use for pretty much anything. So let's dive in. Okay, let's start with a really tricky question. Should we focus on discouraging air travel, or should we restrict car use to fight pollution? It's not so simple, is it? And pay close attention to that little phrase, to what extent. That's key. It's not asking for a simple yes or no. Just take a second and think about it. What's your initial take on this? Now check this out. This is the conclusion from a perfect score essay that answered that exact question. See how it doesn't just pick a side? It's balanced, it's specific, and man, does it sound confident. The real magic, though, is how you get from that really complex question to this incredibly powerful conclusion. Let's break down how it's done. So that conclusion you just saw, it came from this, a perfectly structured 250-word argument. Now, I know it might look a little intimidating on screen, but I promise you, it is built on a framework that is so simple and so easy to repeat. We're going to reverse engineer this thing right now to find that hidden blueprint. And here it is. This is the secret sauce, a simple 4-paragraph blueprint. You have an introduction where you state your position. Then you have your main argument, backed up with evidence. Then, and this is so important, you acknowledge the other side, the counter-argument. And finally, you wrap it all up with a conclusion. That's it. This is your foundation for building a rock-solid case on almost any topic. Okay, so having a great blueprint is one thing, but, it's useless if you don't really understand what you're being asked to build. A truly powerful argument doesn't just shout an opinion, it directly and precisely answers the question that was asked. So let's rewind for a second and go right back to the very beginning, the prompt itself. A really sharp analysis always starts by dissecting the question. You gotta be a detective. Look at the specific words here. We're talking about long-distance flights, non-essential travel, and restricting car use. These aren't just minor details, they are the actual boundaries of the argument. Understanding them is absolutely the first step to crafting a strong response. And then we have our big clue, the phrase, to what extent. Whenever you see this, it's a giant signal telling you to avoid a simple yes or no. It's basically an invitation to think critically, to weigh both sides, and to present a more thoughtful, nuanced position. Honestly, the most convincing arguments almost always live in that gray area. So, with that in mind, how do you state your position? Well, you could go all in with something like, I fully agree, but the much more sophisticated move is to partly agree. It's a bit of a power move, actually. It immediately signals that you've thought about both sides, which ironically makes your own argument so much stronger and way harder to disagree with. Okay, so we have our blueprint, we understand the mission, but a blueprint is just a plan, right? Now we need the actual tools to build our argument. So let's stock up our writer's toolkit with the right words and connectors that are going to bring that structure to life. Using precise language is an absolute game changer. Instead of just saying pollution, you say carbon emissions. Instead of long flights, you say long-haul flights. It's not about trying to sound fancy. It's about using the right words to show you really know your stuff. It just makes your entire argument more credible and way more convincing. Next up in our toolkit, linking devices. Think of these as the road signs for your argument. They're the words that connect all your ideas and guide your reader through your train of thought. They make it super clear when you're adding a point, making a contrast, or showing a result. They just make everything flow so much more smoothly. Do you ever just stare at a blank page and not know where to start? We've all been there. Well, these sentence starters are your secret weapon. They give you this professional-sounding frame to build upon so you can stop stressing about how to say something and just focus on what you really want to say. Now, let's put it all together. Before you even write a single full sentence, you make a quick 3-minute plan. This is where you just map everything out. For paragraph 2, you might just jot down, topic, discouraging flights is good. Example, high-speed rail is a great alternative. And for paragraph 3, the counter-argument. Topic, but cars are a huge problem too. Example, look at how low-emission zones work. See? This way, you know your argument is solid and logical before you even start writing. So why does any of this matter outside of writing an essay? Well, because this isn't just an essay formula. Think of this as your playbook for persuasion in your actual everyday life. That email you're writing to your boss, that big pitch in a team meeting, even just a debate with a friend over coffee. This framework will help you make your case clearly, logically, and just so much more effectively. So there you have it. You've got the blueprint, you've got the tools, we've seen how to break down a question, how to structure your thoughts, how to be balanced, and how to use the right language to be truly persuasive. The only question left is, what argument are you going to build?